The LMC casts a wide net over the Sound Shore to bring you local event info, profiles, and conversations. Recorded in the heart of the village in Mamaroneck Cinemas at the studio on the Avenue, LMC Media brings you the LMC Cast Community Profiles.
Welcome to LMC Cast Community Profile. Hi, my name is Mike Reynolds. I'm a longtime Mamaroneck resident. Today we're going to be talking about something that goes back a long way, hundreds of years. It's an uncomfortable one. It's slavery. It's something, I guess the easy narrative pertains to the Mason-Dixon line, the Underground Railroad, the Civil War, plantation and hovels, people forced to pick cotton. It was a down south thing. But the reality is slavery was up here in the north, locally Westchester County, and more specifically here in Larchmont and Mamaroneck. In fact, if as you drive around our community, you'll see street names: Florence, Griffin, Richbell, Delancey. The forebears for those families, they were slave owners, so it was close to home. Here to tell us more about this is a pair of Mamaroneck High School students. They're teaming on Original Civic Research and Action, or OCRA, project about enslavement. Can you guys introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Caitlin. I'm a senior at Mamaroneck High School, and I'm a part of the OCRA program.
Hi, my name is Zoe Stahl. I'm also a senior at Mamaroneck High School and also a student in the OCRA program.
Okay. Zoe, can you tell us more about OCRA? Any sense for how many other OCRA projects are going on this year?
Yeah, so OCRA is, like we said, it's a 4-year program. In our freshman year, we start off by engaging with the community and learning how to connect with the community. We interviewed community stakeholders and just sort of learned the basics and the basic ground level of what we'll be doing. Sophomore year was a lot of presentations. We learned how to effectively present information, and we also started searching for the topic that we wanted to focus on. And then junior and senior year is when we really got it rolling. And I think there's about 10 projects.
Okay. Caitlin, how did you guys land on slavery? Obviously, it's a controversial topic.
Mm-hmm. So we knew that we wanted to do a project kind of in the realm of local history. We weren't sure exactly what we wanted to focus on, so we did some more research into what the different historical societies in the town were doing. And there's one group that's called REALM, and it stands for Recognizing Enslaved African Americans in Larchmont and Mamaroneck. We saw the work that they were doing. We thought it was a really meaningful project, and so we decided that we thought we could bring some of our experience as students who went through the curriculum and know like what was taught or what wasn't taught. And so we decided to base our OCRA project on the history of slavery in Larchmont and Mamaroneck, and we've been working with some local community groups to kind of put together a project more, and we've been combining what we know as students who like went through the curriculum, but then also as just community members who are interacting with the town.
So Zoe, can you tell us a little bit more about how some of these things together? Who have you been speaking with beyond Realm, as it were?
Yeah, so other than Realm, we've been very involved with the Mamaroneck Historical Society, particularly the president, Peter Fellows, and the former co-president, John Pritz, have been, and our other mentor, Gail Boyle. They've all been such amazing mentors for us, and they've provided us with a lot of information, as well as fact-checking any research that we got, or even just like helping us with the trail itself and different ideas, or just check-ins. So the Historical Society has been very crucial for our project. So I would say that's like the main.
I got you.
Yeah.
So Caitlin, again, in terms of, you alluded to, the curriculum that we all, again, my summarization of slavery in six phrases or less. What other kinds of materials have you been, looking to get into and use for your work so far?
So for research, we've been looking into, like we talked about, how it's being taught in the curriculum. So we actually visited a local middle school class last year to just see what was being taught. And I believe there's one class at Hommocks Middle School that was teaching slavery and at the local level, and it was kind of like a one-day thing, and so we want something a little more permanent than that.
That was just like a seminar then.
Yeah, right.
Seminar
exactly.
for 6th graders.
Yeah, and I think it's important, especially as you get older, like get to higher grade levels, you can understand it and conceptualize it a little bit more. And so we've been thinking a lot about how to work with high school students as well. And then we've just been going to our local community members. I think our historians know probably the most out of everyone, but reading local autobiographies that were written by people here, and then going through census data and just really relying on any information we could find, and kind of putting that together, seeing what statements contradict each other, and then putting that into our final trail.
So you mentioned the Historical Society. You guys are part of what you're doing is to get some of your findings up on their page. Where do you stand in that process at this juncture?
Yeah, so we are, like you said, we are bringing our information and putting it into their website as sort of like a mini website within it.
Okay.
Right now, we are actually in the process of finalizing the website. We hope to have it up probably by the end of October.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where we are with the website right now, but it's going pretty well. We're
so
excited.
you got a crunch though now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finishing touches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Caitlin, I guess the other thing is you guys, I hate to limit it to academia, but again, this also has a live kind of in-person component. You guys are looking or have find places in our community, trails, I guess, and you're going to put QR codes up there. What's going on there? It's a little bit beyond my realm here.
So we picked out a couple historical sites. I think we've got about 12, and we've separated them into a Trail A and a Trail B. And so each of these sites, we're going to have a QR code where just people walking around town or people who specifically wanted to do the trail can go and they'll scan it. And then it'll take them to our page on the website where they can learn more about the site. And so we're in the process of kind of figuring out what we want those QR codes to look like right now. But we're hoping those will be up probably by December.
Really? Okay. So you guys are still in the middle of doing this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Are there some places, can you point out a couple places where we will find these QR codes?
Yeah. So we're thinking of putting one there's James Fenimore Cooper, who is like a famous author. He lived in Mamaroneck, and it was a house called the Closet Hall because it was really small, and it was kind of his first home.
Okay.
After he first got married, it was like his starter home, and he lived there with his wife, who is part of the Delancey family, who you mentioned earlier. And James Fenimore Cooper had like a really complex history with slavery. He had a lot of friends who were abolitionists, but he didn't support that movement. But he also made sure to include the history of slavery in some of his writing, which was kind of revolutionary at that time because not a lot of authors were doing that. And it's rumored that he based a couple of his characters off of enslaved people in Larchmont and Mamaroneck.
So is this is the restaurant now on Boston Post Road?
So we also have the restaurant. That's the Delancey
I
house.
apologize.
The Closet Hall it's on that same strip, but it's a little further down.
Okay. All right. Zoe, did you guys, in terms of getting the trail together and the QR codes, did you go to other places, locally, out of state, to serve as kind of a model for what you guys are thinking of doing and what you're in the process of doing?
So at the time, we didn't really have the resources, aka a car, to go to actual other places. But we did find a very similar project called the New York City Revolutionary Trail. And it basically had the exact layout that we were looking for at the time. And we used it for inspiration, and we actually contacted the creator of it, and he met with us and gave us some very useful information.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I think you ladies told me that this is part of these historical sites, and this kind of information is it's popping up around the country, not just locally. Mm-hmm. I guess, what are we at now? We're going to be 250 years old as a country, so I guess the time is right, coming up.
Yeah.
Anyway, if we could round back to OCRA, as you said, they've been, you start as freshmen and the trail takes you to where you guys are now. What's it been like working with them in terms of helpfulness in terms of the project that you guys are pursuing here?
I think one major thing has definitely been like public speaking. I feel like a lot of students enter high school and they don't have those skills. You'll do a presentation every once in a while in class, but that's different from actually speaking and presenting in front of large groups. And then also just like connecting us with different community members that we never would have reached out to or maybe had the confidence to reach out to in the past. We made some really great connections with community members and they've been really helpful for us. And that's not something that we initially considered when we were first starting the project. We kind of thought we would just use whatever we could find on the internet or in census records for help. But then we realized that talking to specific people in the community that, they know the most about the town. And so that's valuable.
And the person who allowed us to even reach out to those people was our OCRA teacher, Mr. Liberti. He's been like so amazing with all the projects. So he's been such a huge help with our project as well.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's, as you said, beyond the internet. I would have said textbooks, but it's the internet now. But yeah, I mean, you want to have the personal interaction is what you'll set it apart. Yeah. You'll get facts there that are not condensed. You'll get an anecdote or a memory or whatever. I mean, I think that sounds really cool.
Right.
All right, we're getting to the end here. And I know you still have some work to do. So the idea, we expect to see some of your findings on the Mamaroneck Historical Society site get to the end of October, and then the QR trail is in December. So you guys still a lot of work to do, right?
Yeah. We've got on November 19th, we have a presentation in front of the Mamaroneck Historical Society that the community is welcome to go to learn more about our trail and just about the history of slavery in Mamaroneck.
Okay, very good. As you're getting maybe toward the end, what's been your experience as you got into this? Has it been more than you expected? How is it kind of fulfilled what you set out to do? If you want to go first.
Yeah, sure. I think for one thing, it's just opened up a lot of conversations that I didn't expect to be having in high school, but I think is really important to have. And it's forced me to interact with community members more, to go out there and present, even if it's a controversial idea, to accept feedback from other people. And then also just acknowledging, like you said earlier, like the history of slavery was here. And I think a lot of times people think of it as like a Southern thing or also more of like a national level thing. But a lot of those experiences and the people and the events, they happened right here at the local level. And so I think just seeing the connection between what happened here in Mamaroneck and, what happened in the city and what happened like globally and nationally is really important.
Zoe, last words to you.
Yeah, I mean, I like what Caitlin said, just like learning to interact with the community and like learning from the community as well has been an amazing experience with this project. And honestly, I didn't really know much about local history before starting this, and it's made this experience so fulfilling and just like enriching. So I think this project is like one of my favorite things in high school. We've loved it.
So as kids come behind you, do the OCRA thing, right? It's a good thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. There you have it. Caitlin, Zoe, you've given us a lot to digest and ponder. I just wanted to apologize in advance because you get stuck talking to me if that's going to lower your grade, if that's a thing. So my apologies there. But again, I just wanted to say thanks to our guests, Caitlin and Zoe, for all their hard work and sharing the insights. And we're going to be seeing their work come to fruition very shortly.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right. In addition to what Caitlin and Zoe are working on, anybody wants to learn more about enslavement in the U.S. in our area going back to the 1700s, it's worth your time to visit the Mamaroneck Historical Society's website and check out. They have a 40-minute video there that this visitor found interesting and informative. It's at mamaroneckhistoricalsociety.org/videos. This concludes this episode of LMC Cast Community Profile. Till next time, I'm Mike Reynolds. Thanks for watching and listening.
Thank you for listening to the LMC Cast Community Profiles, produced at LMC Media's studio on the Avenue. Visit lmcmedia.org to book your time in this state-of-the-art convenient location, walkable from the Metro North train station on Mamaroneck Avenue. You can also support this nonprofit media center at lmcmedia.org/donate.